Hello and welcome to November Forum. It was a wonderful forum last month, and I have sent everybody who was here last month a recording of October Forum. The theme then was how Tai Chi improve immunity. If you haven't got your copy, or if you'd like to have a recording of that, please let our team know and we can send you that. And this time we will have a recording too, and I'll edit it. Give me a week or so, I will send the recording to you. You don't have to ask. Once you register, you'll receive a recording. I will also tell you the topic next month and other information that's relevant to this forum. So today we are having a very exciting topic. Probably the two most important components, two most important principles of Tai Chi, that is the Jing and the Song. Jing and Song are Chinese words, and it was very hard to translate them. Also, the normal translation wasn't really enough, and so that's why I used the Chinese pronunciation, Chinese phonetics. That's called Jing and Song, and we have two really experienced instructor, master trainer, who's going to talk to you about Jing and Song. And after that, we will have questions regarding this topic. And then after that, we will have time for questions and comments about anything. And then after that, we will have a time to get to know each other. This forum is wonderful. I'm seeing people from different countries, different background. It reflects who we are. Tai Chi for Health Institute is a truly global organization, and it will be really fun to get to know a few people. So you will have a small group, and you get to talk to each other, get to make new friends, and then we'll come back and more questions and comments, and then we'll talk about what we're going to be the next topic next month. So I'm going to introduce my first speaker. Her name is Pat Weber. She's actually an instructor in my Tai Chi school and one of the very first master trainers in the Tai Chi for Health program. So she's been doing Tai Chi for many years, and she helped me to train almost all the master trainers. She's now retired, but she's still teaching the school, and she's going to talk about song. And we're going to play you a video of her, because we have two songs, and she was talking in Zone 1 this morning, and I especially for the speakers, some of them come from USA, and this time would be pretty early in the morning, like Ernie. It's amazing you hear it's 2 a.m. in the morning. And yes, and in case you haven't been here before, let me introduce my team. First of all, Evan is going to control the logistics. Evan is my son-in-law and really good with Zoom. So be nice to him, or he can just cut you off. And Ernie, I think everybody will have talked to or correspond with Ernie. Ernie and Pat are my workshop team in the USA, and Ernie and Nuala are so amazing. They're so dedicated. Thank you, Ernie, and thank you, Nuala. They're so dedicated to keep consistency. They both are here in Zone 1 and Zone 2. Now, Zone 1 was really late for Nura. It's midnight to 1 o'clock. And Zone 2 is really early for Ernie. It's 2 a.m. from USA. So I'm just so appreciative for what you guys do. And then I think, well, I introduced Pat already. So let's listen to Pat.
Okay, song, I find, is a beautiful concept. When I was much younger, I used to love books where a character was described as being loose-limbed, because I always knew that this character would be a person who controlled his or herself and was able to control whatever situations arose. When I looked up the term loose-limbed in the dictionary, these were given as synonyms: supple, physically relaxed; flexible, graceful; willowy, mobile; pliant, and now, of course, I know I can add song. Just for interest, the antonyms are rigid and stiff. Even the words aren't as nice. So we know that Tai Chi is all about change. We change from one posture to another, from full to empty, from hard to soft, open to closed. We can't do those changes smoothly unless we're song to start with, unless we're loose. Oh, that's a shock. I'm sorry, I'm on full screen. It's too much for me. When we first learn our Tai Chi, we're very intent on getting the pattern of the moves into our memory, our muscle memory. So that's where our focus is. And that can be very hard and take quite a long time to do. Once we feel comfortable with that, then we can think of the depth of Tai Chi. And we hear words like Qi, Dantian, Chen, Song, Jin. And we need to think about the meaning behind these words. And we can explore this by reading or listening to talks or trying different instructors who give different descriptions of what this means. Because what one instructor says might make no sense at all, and another one makes it very obvious to us. Then we need to change the way we practice. From just going from beginning to end isn't enough. We need to choose a section from some form that we're happy with, just a few moves, and start trying to put some of the concepts that we've absorbed into practice. Now, one of the best descriptions I read of Sung described the joints as the gateways to the Qi. So if the gate is closed, the Qi can't flow through the limb. It's open, the Qi can flow right through. It also described our limbs with a closed joint as being like a hose with a kink in it. A hose with a kink can't let the water through. A limb that's closed can't let the Qi through. So for me, that was very, very helpful. We start our forms in an upright posture as if suspended. That, for a start, is a challenge to some people because they seem to think they're suspended from here instead of that point between the two ears that holds us upright, like a puppet on a string. So if these people who are not quite upright then are asked to bend their knees softly, the bum will go out and the chest comes forward. So they're in a bad position to start with. Or they might have the chin up too high because they're not suspended properly. So a finger gently pressing on the upper lip, just gently pressing back, and you feel your neck muscles relax. You start to feel song.
Hello and welcome. That was a nice talk, and I love the hose. Like if you king your hose, the water wouldn't flow. But if you allow it to song, then the chi will flow. The next speaker is about Jing. Jing is a Chinese word. Normally it means being quiet, but in Tai Chi it means a little different, and Pat is going to explain that. So let me tell you something about Pat Lawson. I happen to have two pets, and they're both my young old friends. Pat has been doing martial arts and Tai Chi as long as I do. It's not a long time, 47 years. She hosted my very first workshop in USA. We become good friends since then. She's got such knowledge and really wonderful at expressing herself. So it happens both Pat are teachers, and they both teach Tai Chi as well, but they also work as a teacher, the normal teacher things. So let's welcome Pat Weber. Let's listen to her. Pat Lawson from USA.
Thank you. I'm so honored to share a little time with you all exploring these concepts. You know, years ago, somebody asked the then US Supreme Court Justice Potter Stewart to define a difficult concept. And he said, you know, I can't define that, but I know it when I see it. Jing is not something that I can measure out or tell you what color it is or touch. It's a difficult thought, and one that was on my mind for years and years in my Tai Chi journey, because I get impatient and I want to go and earn something. I want to do that exercise and my posture will improve. I want to, do that one. Now I'll be more flexible. I want to know, what can I do to get Jing? And that's not, in my experience, not the way Jing is going to work. It's not something I can go out and get. And what I have discovered is it's something that I have to get out of the way and leave room for. It comes sometimes when we least expect it, definitely when I'm least conscious of it. Many years ago, in my early days of Tai Chi, when I had a different teacher, I asked him once, how come I wasn't feeling Chi the way the other students in the class would describe it? I thought something was wrong with me. I was trying so hard and I wasn't feeling the physical sensations they were describing. And he said, don't try, it's there. You don't have to try. If you're thinking about it or you're trying, you're not gonna feel it. So don't worry. That was my first lesson in getting out of my way a little bit in Tai Chi. Jing, this sense of calmness, mental serenity is there. It's there whether there's a lot of confusion around me, whether there's chaos around me, whatever's going on in my life or in the world. Calmness and serenity is there, whether it's noisy, whether it's quiet. If I can tune in to universal Chi, if I can let go of some of my conscious controls and worries, if I can just keep steady with my breathing, with my movements, and try to be song, try not to hold inner tension, by relaxing that, I leave room for the shine of Jing to fill that space.
Well, there are two principles that complement each other and definitely not contradictory. And actually, why don't you join me and let's try to do that. I'm going to stand back a little bit and I get you to do an open close with me. Bring your hands in front of your chest. Keep your hands away from your chest. And Jing means we are here now. It also means let go and don't worry about other things. Just be here. And gentle resistance. What happens is when you breathe in, imagine you are pulling against some resistance. And then when you push, imagine like a magnetic force of negative against negative. You have to push gently closer. And open, pulling against the gentle resistance, and close, feel. Now when you are thinking of the gentle resistance, moving as though there's a gentle resistance, your mind becomes Jing. Your joints become Song. It comes together. The more Jing you are, the more your gentle resistance, your internal force is stronger. The more you feel the gentle resistance, the more you can Jing. And next. So I hope that explained it. I think the latest complete explanation or principle was on the global community. Any online lesson you subscribe, you'll be able to see the global community. There's 210 video clips on all kinds of topics. How to improve your Tai Chi, Tai Chi principles, my recipe for health, interview for interesting and exciting people around the world. So I hope you look into that and enjoyed it. Find a comfortable, safe place, or you can sit down and just do what I'm doing and visualize you're standing up. So what I'd like you to do, whether sitting down or standing up like me, is just bend your knees a little bit.
To us 2 or 3 days prior, we asked for people to contribute, and so pleased that people were doing that. So the comments more of how they're thinking rather than a question. So I'll share a couple of those with you if you don't mind. Okay, Lorraine is saying when she practices a short form in particular, and she knows it real well, she can experience Song and Jing. And for an example, she says in waving hands in clouds continuously, that's when she most feels it. But she thinks it happens in many of the Tai Chi movements where both of those are like a continuum. It's always there.
That's great. I love that.
And here's another one from William. He likes your suggestion of practicing the concepts of Jing and Song when lying in bed, sitting in a garden, riding a bus, standing in line at the store. And sometimes he finds it useful to practice the concepts, not just when doing Tai Chi, but in everything a person does throughout the day.
Thank you. That's really nice. And I believe Tai Chi, of course, is derived from understanding of the law of nature, and it shouldn't be limited only when we're doing the forms. We can practice our Tai Chi anywhere, as Willing suggests. I like that very much. However, I do think if you can, it's useful to have so scheduled practice.